What's up, man? We back in this. We back in this. And I'm about to watch this video. This is what 100, by the way. And I'm about to watch this video. Bernie Mac and Steve Harvey's beef. Now I've been hearing that it was some beef. I heard some things, but I never seen nobody speak on it. I never seen it. I never seen it like really being like nobody saying nothing for real. I heard like little rumors and this and this, but I ain't never seen one of them say nothing about no beef. You know what I'm saying? But let's see what these folks talking about. Shout out to Comedy Hype. Subscribe to Comedy Hype and them.
The original Kings of Comedy tour was set a mark in comedy that is still admired to this day. The tour put together heavy hitters Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, and Cedric the Entertainer as they would travel across the country for a historic moment in time. Their recorded special from the actual tour would gross over $38 million at the box office, and according to Box Office Mojo, it is the second biggest comedy stand-up concert after Eddie Murphy's Raw. But what some may not know is that there was a time in which stars of the tour, Bernie Mac and Steve Harvey, didn't get along. In fact, their feud looks to be a reason why we never got a chance to see the Kings reunite. Here's why. In 1997, producer Walter Lathan would organize Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and Bernie Mac to tour as the original Kings of Comedy. Fast forward to 1999, D.L. Hughley would join the tour, and the men would embark in a historical run. Every other night, fans would experience 4 different styles of comedy. You see Steve Harvey, he served as a killer, and Bernie Mac to tour as the Walter Lathan would organize Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer. In 1997, producer Walter Lathan would organize Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and Bernie Mac to tour as the original Kings of Comedy. Fast forward to 1999, D.L. Hughley would join the tour, and the men would embark in a historical run. Every other night, fans would experience 4 different styles of comedy. You see Steve Harvey, he served as a charismatic MC who would give the audience 3 short sets every night while introducing the crowd to Mac, DL, and Cedric. When it came to DL's time on stage, he represented comedy's more observational style and was known for his epic roasting of audience members. Cedric the Entertainer, who also served as Harvey's co-star on The Steve Harvey Show, would represent, for in his words, grown-ass men, as he would chime in on the current state of black culture. And lastly, the electrifying Bernie Mac would close out the night with stories on his personal life, which would later be used for his TV show, The Bernie Mac Show. Now everything appeared to be fine in front of cameras as each man was considered their own king and would all have careers to prove it. But as you can guess with anything, there's always a natural rise of competition and being compared to your peers. One of the first times audiences got a chance to notice any sign that not all the men were happy about their careers was actually shown during the comedy special version of the Kings of Comedy tour. You see, Bernie Mac boldly would tell the camera how scared America was with giving him his own show in comparison to his own tour mates. During an interview this year on The Breakfast Club, D.L. Hughley would confirm Bernie's problem with not having a show at the time and how it made Mac honestly feel some type of way about it. But as time went by, however, America appeared to no longer deny Mac's talent, and in 2001, he would hit Fox with his own show, The Bernie Mac Show. Now, all the Kings were being recognized on TV and building their profiles. If they were ever to reunite...
Hey, the Bernie Mac Show was one of the best, like, what you call it, a sitcom? I just like the fact that my boy would sit back and, you know what I'm saying, really, he'll talk directly to the camera. He be having guests in there when we talking to the camera. That man was funny. And it wasn't like a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or like a Family Matters or, you know, shows like that. I like shows where it's funny. I don't like a show that's funny, but then they also try to be like good times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need no life lessons. I came here to laugh. Can I laugh? That's why the Jamie Foxx show was like my favorite show.
For a new Kings tour, it would be a sure sellout. However, in an interview with GQ back in 2003, It became very clear that things weren't the best between the men, in particular Bernie and Steve Harvey. It was suggested that Harvey was jealous of Bernie's then rise, and even suggested that Harvey tried to replace him in 2000's Charlie's Angels. Rumor has it that a rep of Harvey's contacted the director of Charlie's Angels and tried to convince them that Harvey was a better option over Mac.
I can't see Steve Harvey being in no Charlie's Angels. That ain't even his like. That ain't even his swag. Like I don't. Has Steve Harvey been in movies? A movie that Steve Harvey was in? I can't think of no movie Steve Harvey was ever in. Bernie Mac was in plenty movies.
Mac would go on to comment on the rumor during his talk with GQ and shared some unflattering thoughts about Harvey. Man, I heard about that. I was told about it. You know these people. Are you surprised? Tell me, are you really surprised? It's always about him. Go back and look at the Kings of Comedy tapes. Whenever he introduced his buddy, Cedric the Entertainer, it was all about himself. So yeah, I knew about it. Did it piss me off? Nah, you can't piss me off. You ain't that good. Now, as you can imagine, Harvey was very upset about Bernie's comments and would publicly address them in an interview with journalist Ed Gordon.
Hey man, I got a question, bro. What's up with like just the mustache? Why you ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? Why you don't want to let it connect? It's clear you shaving. Why you don't let it just connect one time? It ain't like it don't grow. You probably got a full beard, Haki. What's up with just the mustache, bro? I don't know what that's doing.
Back in 2010 on BET. I was upset at first because it just wasn't true. Me and Bernie had a lot of good times together, and then this article in GQ came out and put all this vicious stuff in there. B said he never said it. I had to take him at his word for it. Whether that particular moment was the reason for their feud or not, both Cedric and DL have confirmed that Mac and Bernie were at odds at least one point in time. In his recent interview with The Breakfast Club, DL would confirm Steve and Mac's feud was partially one of the reasons why a Kings of Comedy reunion tour never happened. Cedric will also go on to hint the same thing when he stopped by The Breakfast Club a month earlier. Now for Harvey, he appears to have found his own peace with any problem he had with Mac before Bernie's passing in 2008. He would note that it was Bernie's widow, Rhonda McCullough, who helped him find closure on the so-called feud. Interesting enough, we at Comedy Hype had a moment to ask Harvey about a potential reunion of the Kings. He would tell us that he couldn't see any Kings reunion or a biopic without Bernie.
Yeah, in a way, but they would have to include Bernie some kind of way. It was 10 years after we stopped touring that Bernie passed, and we had just started talking about it. Maybe doing a big reunion. But when Bernie passed, that killed it. None of us, me said or DL, wants to ever do the Kings of Comedy without Bernie. That was our guy. He was our dude, man. I mean, without him, it's just not the same.
In recent years, the remaining three Kings of Comedy have gotten together on different occasions, most notably.
That's real, dog. Cause ain't no way I'm finna have a group and one of us die, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's still do it. Like, nah, my dog ain't even here, bro. Like, what we gotta do? We gotta put him on the jumbotron and play some old tapes or something. Like, he gotta be involved some kind of way, bro.
Harvey invited Ced and DL to a show in 2016 to reminisce on the past, and they even reconnected at Def Comedy Jam 25 on Netflix. Who knows what the Kings of Comedy tour reunion would have looked like, but it's safe to say that it was a special moment meant for that time. Going back to DL's talk with The Breakfast Club, it didn't happen because it wasn't supposed to. Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
Yeah, rest in peace to Bernie, bro. Real talk, bro. His set was probably my favorite set. Like, I like Ced's set when he was talking about, I'm a grown ass man, dog. Like, I like this set. DL set, I'm not really that big of a fan of DL Hughley. I used to watch the show The Hughleys. A little bit here and there. But I wasn't that big of a fan of D.L. Hughley's stand up. I'm still not really. But I ain't tapped in a while. Maybe if I tap in now, I might like it. But I don't think I like. I just don't think I like that. I don't think I like that style of comedy or his style of comedy. Like I liked Sid Set, and I liked Bernie was my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Him downstairs. Yeah, that was my joint right there. You know what I mean? Um, but I was like a little kid then. I wasn't a little kid. I was like 12, 11, 12, 13, 11, 12. Anyway, when that came out, I was like in middle school. So I didn't even know there was like a Kings of Comedy touring. Like when the Kings of Comedy came out, the special, I was really confused as to why they was even calling themselves the Kings of Comedy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even really know where that came from. You know what I'm saying? But I guess they had already been doing it for so long. They felt like they was the Kings of Comedy. You know what I'm saying? Uh, because to me, honestly, at that time, it was some, I wouldn't say bigger names, but just funnier comedians. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like the Kings of Comedy. And I never knew there was no kind of beef. I never knew there was no kind of turmoil. I never knew there was no kind of none of that going on. And I never really expected a reunion. I would think a reunion would have happened like he died in what, '09 or something. I think a reunion. Dang, did he die in '09? It's 12 years ago. When did he die, bro? Anyway, whenever he died, I felt like maybe like 2010 to like 2013 would have probably been a good time to have like a reunion Kings of Comedy, you know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Right, did he die in '09 for real, dog? I think that's what they said. If he did, that's a long ass time ago. But yeah, man, you already know what it is, dog. If you like the video, you know what I'm saying, like the video. If you're watching this video and you like the video, like the video. And I'd appreciate it because it helps me out personally. Personally, it helps me out. And comment, you know what I'm saying, and subscribe to your boy, man. And I'm gonna keep on cranking these things out for you, you know what I'm saying, on the daily though. On the daily. Like this here. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one.